Thank you for dropping in for another video. Now, this will be a little different than most videos, and we'll go over that a little later on, but let's unbox the Air Jordan 1 High Shadow 2.0, and for this, we need to thank Peter Moore. That's right, not Tinker Hatfield, Peter Moore, since he is the designer of the Air Jordan 1 silhouette that originally debuted in 1985. Now, this is not an OG colorway. What you're probably thinking of is the original Shadow that released back in 1985 alongside the Bread, the Royal, the Chicago, the Black Toe, the Neutral Gray. Those are the colors we think of as OG. This is a remix of the Shadow. The paneling is a little bit different. Of course, we have more gray than we do the black, and you're able to see this side by side with the 2015 Shadow 1 Low. Now, I was lucky enough to find these on eBay in amazing condition, and I think it's a great pairing together to have both the 2015 Low and this Shadow 2.0. Now, I know there's a question about the quality of the leather, why so many people didn't really care for it on this pair. To me, it's actually really close to the 2015 leather you get on the Low, so it's not something that we think of as, oh my god, the highest of highest quality in terms of softness or texture, but I think it'll still hold up really well over time. Now, for the reverse bread we saw recent times, I wasn't a fan of that, but I am a fan of this color blocking on the Jordan 1. Now, just call me crazy, because why don't I like one and I like the other? I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. I'm a fan of this. I like the lighter take on the gray for the nubuck on the outer paneling, but again, the fact that it is a gray and black shoe means it's something extremely neutral you can wear time and time again with everyday fits and never tire of it. Now, I didn't want the traditional stock black laces in there, so yes, I swapped those out for some sail laces. Now, here you guys are seeing it on foot. This is a grade school 7. No, that's not my actual size that I get in a Jordan 1. So first, my true size would be a Jordan, in a Jordan 1 would actually be a 6. However, due to the way my foot is shaped, a 6 hugs the sides of my feet a little bit too much, so I actually go up to a 6.5. However, Noble did not have a 6.5 available. A 7 was all they were able to accommodate, but I'm grateful for that still, because I don't have an issue going up to a 7. Now, in terms of styling, I wanted to do something a little different here. So what if you take your favorite t-shirt and style it 3 different ways? One way is super athleisure, just casual. Maybe you have errands or something to run around town in, you know, on a Saturday or a weekend. That's exactly what this fit is supposed to mimic, with the Nike tights as well as the Nike Windrunner jacket in the neutral colorway of white, gray, and black. And then I decided to layer the crew socks as well. Now, let's say you have a meeting that you need to attend. All right, well, we still got on our favorite comfortable gray tee, but instead we throw on the H&M jogger plaid pants as well as the H&M blazer. And yes, I will show up to a meeting, an event, whatever, in Jordan 1s. Don't question that. I'm authentic and true to myself. I would advise all of you to do the same and remain true to yourself. A Jordan 1 can be dressed up, it can be dressed down, and again, this is all centering around one specific t-shirt. Maybe you have that favorite shirt that you want to style quite a few ways, but you're just never really sure how. Well, you're able to do that here. So we went from really athletic and casual until now it's a little bit more dressed up casual. But let's say, hey, I just want to go hang out with friends, or I'm just going out, but it's nothing that requires me to be in a blazer. Well, okay, I'm a fan of hooded cardigans, so this is an open hooded cardigan from H&M as well. And then you have on the everyday nylon pants from Minimal, and again, paired with the Jordan 1 Shadow 2.0. Totally neutral fit. You should have already known I would find a way to work in olive pants. I did just that. So all 3 fits are something that I think pair really well with this very neutral 2021 take on the OG Shadow. All right, that's it. That's the video. Well, that's this portion of the video, the breakdown, the sneaker review, the on foot, the how I would style the Shadow 2.0. That part's done. And yes, it's essentially a black and white concept in terms of a video. I gave you my thoughts. I think it's a really clean, updated twist on the original Jordan 1 Shadow. I still don't own the High, but maybe one day. So please sound off in the comments, which was your favorite outfit? I'm always curious to know. And I say the black and white part of it because there's a lot of gray area that's going on within sneakers if you're not living under a rock, and we can touch on that. I didn't think a whole video needed to be spent on it, but I do have some thoughts.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video, Talks with TJ, aka TJ Two Shoes Change. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in to another video. If you're brand new and you like what you saw before this part, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I truly appreciate it. If you're a brand new subscriber, thank you. Feel free to hop into any of the premieres for my videos. I try to premiere them every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern, or at least on the days that I actually have a video. The weekends, the times are a little bit different. They're usually more so in the morning or maybe in the afternoon. And thank you again. Like, I was one of the very last creators, I was one of the last creators to have the Jordan 1 Shadow 2.0 up in terms of review, my thoughts for you. But if you tuned in, you're the real MVP. And that aside, so what's going on? A lot is going on. I just kind of want to hit on quite a few things before we end the video. So number one, I know you see it. I know you see it, as Booker said. Thought so. That's no disrespect to LeBron James. That man's legacy, I still feel, is forever cemented within basketball. But Booker did his thing. I think he was the definition of legendary, as Kobe told him to be while he was still alive. I mean, 6 for 6 from the three-point line in the very first quarter. The man broke his own regular season record in the first quarter almost. So I just think that was amazing. Put up 47 points. He broke his regular season scoring record, and I'm happy for the Suns. I want to see them go far. I want to see them do well. I'm so happy for CP3 to advance as well, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's playoff time. It's such an exciting time for basketball. On the very same night, listen, Phoenix Suns won, or Phoenix Mercury won as well. So Phoenix Suns, Mercury, they were doing their thing on Thursday. It made for a difficult time to fall asleep, though. I'll say that. Like, I'm not a fan of these late West Coast games because then I can't fall asleep, but I am a fan of all of the excitement that's around D-Book, so shout out to him. Y'all see me repping the shirt, okay? That's right, Booker. All right, moving beyond that. We'll move beyond that. Kicks coming up. Probably a really light month for me in June. I think I've said that already, but I just feel like it will be because, listen, I know the reality of trying to get, and I'm on my year 3. I'm not stressing myself out about that. The Jordan 1 Low neutral gray, however, is a top priority on my list. So if I'm able to get my hands on that, awesome. I really hope I can. If I can't, not all is lost because fog was secured. So from the second drop, or drop 2 as we like to call it, for Fear of God Essentials this month in June, thankful to Wolf for securing me the crew neck. But then I was actually able to check out on Essence Friday for the dark heather gray hoodie in a size small. So we know how fast shipping is from them, so I should probably have that like Monday, Tuesday. We'll see how quickly I can get that out for you. Now, it's nothing crazy, right, out of this world. It's a great hoodie, but it comes down to the quality, the name, meaning behind the brand. We all understand that now. So as soon as I get those pieces in, I'll be sure to do a video, and probably like a sizing video as well, versus like this current hoodie and then maybe the past hoodies that they've released, because I do have a darker heather gray for that as well. So I'll be sure to get that out for you. Something that I learned, okay? Do not bypass the Shop Pay or Shopify code screen. If you ever get that, whether it's on PacSun, whether it's on fearofgod.com, even if it's on like Essence, like, don't bypass that, because that actually allows them to tell that you're a human and for you to easily check out. So for a lot of people, they didn't use Apple Pay on fearofgod.com on June 2nd. They actually just used Shop Pay or Shopify. I have it. I just ignored it and like I clicked off the code screen. So don't ask me why. Poor life choice. All of us have them. I have them too. Okay. I have them too. So poor life choice. But I'm good now. I'm solid. So I think the next go round, which will probably be in August, I should fare a little bit better, especially if it's on fearofgod.com. I seem to do decently well on there. Let's not talk about other places that I just don't do well. PacSun, I don't subject myself to that abuse anymore, okay? I'm done there. I'm done. I care about myself too much to continue to try to cop on PacSun when it comes to Fear of God Essentials. Beyond that, the true gray matter that is currently being discussed everywhere in sneakers has to do with the Nike Kobe 6 Protro Mambacita. Now, if you're not aware of that shoe, it was specifically designed by Vanessa herself to commemorate her daughter as well as Kobe's love for the game. And we know that was a special bond they shared. And I'll go ahead and put a picture up just so you guys can see what sneaker I'm talking about in question. Now, the controversy surrounding this has more so to do with contract versus morals. At least that's what I would say. And let me just put this disclaimer out there. I am not here to argue back and forth with anyone. Why? Because of the morality clause that I think really comes into play here. So why do I say that? Because what we've seen, and I'll put also a picture up for some of the articles and the sneaker blogs that have covered this, and I'll put a link below and you can read up on it as well. But we know that a shop overseas actually sent these out accidentally to certain customers who thought they were getting a different Kobe. But nope, they received an unreleased Kobe, which is up in question if it was authorized to be released. And that's where the question comes in. Now, first off, working in a sneaker store, is it possible for someone to make an honest mistake and send this shoe out? Yes, it is, but that mistake is still based in carelessness and just not paying attention and not being accountable, because we have an actual procedure where you're still supposed to check every single shoe before you ship it out. Make sure you have left and right in the box. Make sure you have the same sneaker in the box. And I'm being so serious, that doesn't happen enough, and we get customers that come back in with the wrong shoes that they didn't order, or maybe the wrong sneakers, like 2 left or 2 right shoes in the box. So it is a mistake that happens within the footwear industry, and I imagine within retail in itself, but I don't think that absolves the actual shop from doing their due diligence in terms of what you should have sent out. Okay, so now it comes down to, who else do you hold accountable? Because they didn't get those sneakers just out of on a whim. Nike would have to have distributed those to them. So I think that does go back to Nike in itself. Now, we know there was a contract in place. We know it's also done. It ceased. It was not extended. So now it comes down to, for this specific shoe, even if it was authorized to be made, did it fall within contract guidelines where they also have the rights to sell said sneaker for a profit at their own discretion, regardless of what Vanessa or the Bryant estate would want? That is the tricky part, because contracts are black and white. If they're legally able to do something, they can. Should they do something just because they're legally able to? That's where the gray area comes in for me, because morally, I may stand in one spot when it comes to a situation, context, everything taken into account. You may stand on the total opposite side. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It means morally we just don't agree. But if both of us are operating within legal parameters, then we're actually both still okay by, definition of law. But if you're asking myself, as a shop, would I have sent those out? First off, no, I would like to think I would have done my due diligence to actually check a shoe before sending it out. Second, if I'm a patron and I receive this shoe and then I see everything going on with it, would I then keep the shoe to resell it? Or would I keep the shoe just for my own personal use? Or would I send the shoe back to the shop? No on all 3 counts. Now, this is just for me. Whatever you would do, own what you would do. Please do not, in this video, in the comments, tell me what I would do, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that would know what I would do. I would not. For me, some things just don't sit okay with me. So, truth be told, I end up getting the shoe as a patron. I understand that Vanessa and her family and Natalia and anybody else, they actually don't even have the shoe in their possession. I'm probably going to try to find a way to get the shoe to her. Now, again, I don't know this woman directly. I am able to comment, which is weird on Instagram, because you can't comment on everybody's accounts, right? Some people will restrict comments on accounts. I was able to comment on the actual post she made, expressing her displeasure and disgust with everything going on with Nike and the Mambacita for the Kobe 6, Protro. So I would do my best to try to just get the pair to her. I just feel like the woman should have the shoe. Now, it comes into a gray area because morally, I wouldn't do that, but Nike, if they're legally well within their rights, they can do what they want. From what I feel, maybe she understood one thing of it would be made but not sold. What was the initial understanding, and then to see the shoe floating around and others have it, and StockX has certainly sold like 50 plus pairs, that would kind of be a gut check for you. Now, would I trust anyone really to not betray me? No, absolutely not. Like, this is the real world, unfortunately, and that's just how people operate for their own personal gain, whether it's an individual or a business. That's just the shitty reality, I'm gonna be honest. So I mean, you have to expect the worst, unfortunately. So morally, I wouldn't. I don't think they should have. Will this be resolved? Who knows, to be honest with you. When things get out, a lot of people choose to chime in. And I get that everyone has an opinion, but a lot of people have just taken it to disrespect and, you know, to Vanessa. And I'll be real with you. For a lot of the men that are choosing to disrespect her in comments, you wouldn't dare approach Kobe face to face, dap it up to him, but then disrespect the woman that he's with, you know, for life. I don't see that happening with anyone. So it's really interesting to see it happen online. I mean, everyone operates how they want to operate online, but that part is just disgusting to me. Not a fan of it in any way, shape, or form. So what will happen at the end of the day, I don't know. But I know eBay completely took down every listing for the Mambacita, and hey, I applaud them for it. It's the same thing I would have done. To my knowledge, GOAT has not sold any pairs, but StockX has been StockX, I guess, and they have chosen to sell pairs. So, of course, they're through the roof in terms of resale, and I think a lot of us expected that. It's sneakers becomes interesting, and again, I think it comes down to contracts, morality, can you, should you, and no one's going to agree with that at the end of the day necessarily on all fronts. So we'll see what happens. If you're going to argue with people in the comments, just be respectful, okay? Again, I am not arguing back and forth with someone, because what you would do versus what I would do, totally different. I respect your right to do what you want to do. Just respect mine to do what I want to do. And that being said, this is it. So the gray area really of this video had zero to do with the Shadow 2.0. That's pretty black and white. Good looking sneaker, neutral. I wouldn't pay high resale for it, but I think it's a great pair to add to your collection as an everyday option. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.